to Generation Dragons episode 82. Steve, how you doing?
Clint, my man, I'm doing well. You?
Not bad, not bad. Ching,
Cheers.
ching.
Ding.
Bink.
Well, I think this one's going to be fun and short, and a lot of good memories here. I'll let you do the intro and kick her off.
Yeah, no problem. I was just trying to refocus my camera because it went all blurry. Welcome, everybody, to our 82nd episode. Over the last 3 years, we've been doing this crazy. All started because of COVID, and COVID is long gone. Now considered just the flu, and but hey, we're 4 years later, exactly where it was this time in COVID, and everything seems to be turning up the same way.
No. It literally doesn't seem that long, but man, it is.
But
yes, been 4 years.
It's been 4 years.
And then 3 years with the show.
It's been crazy. But yeah, everyone, thanks for tuning in today. We're gonna have a good show, like Steve said. Should be fun and interesting. We're going to talk cartoons. We're going to talk 80s and 90s cartoons. Impactful, how they hold up. You know,
just a few.
Just a few. Just the tip. And yeah, as always, guys, just give us a like and a follow if you enjoy our stuff. And if not, give us a like and follow. Or comment on the video and tell us what shows we missed from the bygone eras of the 80s and 90s, which makes me feel old when I look at some videos that say, you know, the 1980s and 1936 is the same time frame as the 80s and 2023 or 2024. But
oh my god, yeah, that makes me feel really old. Just the fact that like 2050 is closer than 1980.
Yeah, it is, Steve. It is.
All right, man.
Anyways, Steve, I'll let you kick it off as you're a child of the 80s.
Well, it's got to be the first one, most impactful to both of us, I would say, at least in our relationship, the Transformers.
The Transformers will return after these messages.
Like,
truth.
Come on, like, damn it, stupid camera being backwards.
But all is one.
They even got a tattoo with it. Like, I go to TFCon mostly every year. It's been super impactful and influential to my friends groups, my kids. Like, I go back to watching it all the time. I can pretty much recite the movies, especially the 86 movie, the cartoons. Like, you know, I build my own. I print my own. Like, I mod them. Like, it's been huge for me, and I think it's, besides video games, it's kind of where we bonded.
Yeah, truth. Yeah, I mean, Transformers is definitely high up there on my list as well. I didn't get tuning in until way later, but you know, I was a big Transformers fan. For me, it was Beast Wars because that would have been in my prime. I was eight when it came out.
Canadian made.
Yeah, Canadian made Beasties Transformers, as it is in Canada.
Do you know why it's Beasties here?
I think we've talked about this in the show before, and if I recall correctly, it's because we couldn't have war in the title of a TV show. Yeah. So yeah, Steve. I mean, 100%. You're right. I mean, I've gone back, watched the show, watched the movies, collect all the Transformers. So not all of them, but some of them, most of them, when they released the newer ones. Introduced to my kids, they're big on it too. Just opened up Cyber Shark with Kai today, so he's sleeping with Cyber Shark tonight. Yeah, I mean, going back, I actually think the 80s Transformers hold up way better than the Beast Wars, but I think it's just based on the animation. Story wise and all that stuff,
I'd say the writing was better in Beast Wars or Beasties. But I see where you're going there. There was a lot of animation errors in G1. Back then, it was just all about selling toys more than anything. But some of the stories, kind of pretty hokey. You know? Like,
yeah. And you know what? I think, like I said, it's the animation. So like, yeah, there's a lot of flukes in G1, but it's kind of like going back to the N64 or PlayStation 1. Those graphics just don't hold up. That's part of the problem.
God, I could go back and try to play a game on the Atari and think it's the best thing in the world, and my kids just make fun of me.
Yeah, well, so it's kind of like, the NES or Super NES. You play those, or the Genesis, you go back to play those. They're still amazing. They still play well, but that's because it's a lovable, beautiful art style.
100%. I'd say 16-bit is the sweet spot.
Yeah. Hey, look at we already got sidetracked.
Again. Well, let me add something, though. There's something, we're both in the same group. I need to know if you're in the local Transformer group that we're in, which is Ottawa Transformers Fan Club. I'd have to double check that now. I'm forgetting because the other name's on it. But were you there when we were the Trans fans?
I was not part of that group when you guys were the Auto Trans fans.
They had a different meeting about 20 years ago, 15 years ago, when we were first part of it, early 2000s or so. And I thought it was a great group to join, like-minded people, but different meaning nowadays. So.
Oh yeah, big time. I mean, for me, outside of Beast Wars, I gotta go with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Heroes in a half shell. Turtle power.
I did watch the 80s show when I was older. Actually, I was really introduced to TMNT by the toys, and then the first live action movie, which I was probably too.
So you didn't see the cartoon before?
I definitely remember watching the first season of TMNT. The first live action movie of TMNT more than I ever remember watching the animated series.
No kidding.
But going back, well, I did watch. I mean, I watched it later in the 90s, early 2000s, and going back to it, I mean, it still holds up. So much like what you said, Steve. At that point, they were just trying to sell toys. And that was their goal, which is always the goal for any of these cartoons we're talking about. But at least Ninja Turtles still had
episodes and things like that were a little weird. But.
But they did still have Eastman and stuff. And oh man, what's his name? Laird and Eastman? Laird? No.
Not as big as TMNT fan as you.
I'm drawing a blank on the other guy's name, but they still had the comic book writers engaged in the TV series to an extent. So, which was good. And then eventually it went off and did its own thing. I mean, Ninja Turtle for me, as it has been, all growing up. So, and you were prime time watching TMNT, I'm sure.
I was starting to get on the older age though by the time TMT came out, because I was just not quite done with toys and cartoons, but getting to that phase, where they weren't as big. But then I had a come back to like just loved animated things, so animated shows. So came back, but it was a great show, and that damn title tune, like theme song, you'll never get out of your head. Like, it was the best. So
Turtles in a half shell. Turtle
power. Yeah, see? So I would have been at the age where I liked the cartoon to watch it and stuff coming in after school, but didn't care so much about the toys unless I was going to display it. So So
what about you, sir? What's a good one?
Oh, it's got to be He-Man next. Got to be He-Man. He-Man was big and huge, when I was young. He was big and huge when I was young because he was bigger than G.I. Joes and things like that. The castle was awesome. Our pals in D&D will appreciate that's how we related He-Man to more to D&D type of ideas and stuff. But the toys were just ridiculous. They came out so fast and furious. I mean, they used the same mold for almost every toy except the head. Every male figure looked the same, and every female looked the same, besides their color and head. That was the only thing they had to worry about. So, but yeah, that show was awesome. It was the first syndicated show. It was the first show, that every episode was new 5 days a week. It was on every day, 5 days a week. So there's a lot of repeated animation, stuff like that. Like he probably transformed into He-Man half a dozen times every episode just to fill in.
And the fill it. How does it hold up, Steve? Going back to it.
Actually, some of it holds up pretty well. It's why I keep going back to it. Especially back then, they had PSAs at the end of the shows, like Transformers, G.I. Joe, He-Man. They did PSAs at the end. They tried to do things like from a moral point of view, often from morals from back in the 80s. Now you never get away with that now. Too many people complain about like trying to have those type of morals or virtues, if you will. But the show, I think it held up really damn well because I still watch it. I have the whole box sets, and I will put them in even my van, and we'll watch them on a long drive or something like that.
Right. Yeah.
Transformers first, He-Man second, and then Kids Shows third when I let them watch something they want.
Right.
I can't see it, but I'm driving, but I can hear it. So.
Yeah. Jeepers.
What about you, man? What's next?
I gotta go with Spider-Man. The 90s Spider-Man 90s? And it. Yeah. The introduction of Venom, Carnage, the one that goes like Goblin.
Spider-Man, radioactive Spider-Man. That one?
Yeah, I think that's the one. I think it goes like that. I watched it so many times I don't remember the theme.
It was song. Like they had a crossover with X-Men, the animated series.
Yes. Yeah.
Towards the end of the X-Men.
Yeah.
That one was. I have to agree. That was awesome.
So to me, it still holds up. The animation is decent. Stories are not bad. I just like, to me, Venom and Carnage are my two favorite characters in the Spider-Man universe, and to see them animated and on TV like that and did decently well for it being a kids show, was great. And like I said, they still hold up.
More targeted to teens a little bit rather than
kids,
but
more like pre-teens, like 10-year-olds.
I think there's one episode I really liked. I don't know if you remember it, but when Wolverine was on the show. It wasn't the X-Men crossover, but he was on the show, and they swapped bodies.
Yes, I do remember that one.
That was great. I love that one. I got to rewatch that. So, man, I'll go next. I'm going to say one that's going to throw everyone out there off, but it was very, very good show, and it dealt with political issues, and if you will, it was kind of dealing with racism and stuff like that back in the day in the early 90s. But Exo Squad. Show, like not too many people knew it. I was at the age where I had a job, like I'd go to my job, and I was playing sports at the time. Just I don't know, I think I was in driver's ed even. I just crazy busy, but I look forward to like that half hour or so watching Exo Squad in between when I had time. I'd record it on my VHS player, on TV back then, set the timer, hope nothing screwed up, hope the show played on time. But I remember I was working at McDonald's one day, and I'd start my like 5 a.m. shift for drive-through, this and that. It was almost never an 8-hour shift. Sometimes it was, but usually it was out of there by 11 a.m., 11:30, and I would race home, get a bite to eat, sit down and watch the Exo Squad before I had to do what I had to do in the afternoon, and loved it. But in short, it was all about, the colonization of Mars. They created beings to work on Mars, like they're genetically engineered to be bigger, stronger, and this and that. But there's a lot of racism against normal humans and Martians, I guess. But I've gone back to rewatch that. It's been a few years now, but great show if you're into sci-fi.
Yeah, nice. I mean, for me, the next one would be Biker Mice from Mars, talking about Martians.
Biker Mice from Mars. Cool.
Throttle, Vinny, Moto, biker mice on battle bikes with the firepower to stop the evil Plutarchians.
Catch this, Carbuncle!
Gets me every time.
Step his way, Exasius vermin!
No way, fish face!
Grease pedals, grease them! Grease this! Whoa!
Time to rock and ride!
Biker mice from Mars, bikes and figures, each sold separately, new from Galoob.
This show
That's funny. Great segue.
This show is something different. I went back to it just recently and watching it. It's a 90s cartoon. It was definitely focused on the toys more so. You know, they had Throttle, Moto, and Vinny, who are the three mice, let's say, after their planet Mars was attacked by the Plutarians. So these guys, it's just something different. I mean, I was more big on the toys than I was on the show itself, actually, surprisingly. So I had a few of the toys. I still have one of the toys from growing up, and it doesn't hold up. It's
the toys
it's
look
like,
damn cool, and I love that you have it on top of your 80s TV.
Yeah. But yeah, the show, I mean, I'll go back and I'll watch it here or there, but oh my goodness, it's not. It's a tough watch. It's a tough watch.
It's a watch of love and memories.
It's a watch. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So one thing I gotta say about all that is sometimes in here it's better than what it really is, and when you go to rewatch it, you're like, oh, this is crap. Like, I went with writing there, and I've been there a lot with stuff like that. But you got to accept it for what it is. You know, that's how you thought back then, and what your memories were, and that's what it's really about. Is the memory of it.
Exactly.
So I'll do one more, and then if you want more, we'll tie it up there. But I'm gonna give Conan the Barbarian. I think, is it called Conan the Barbarian or the cartoon? Because that's the movie. But anyway, the Conan cartoon.
Without fear, he's more powerful than any man. His legend spreads across the land and sea. Conan, the mightiest warrior ever. His quest to undo the spell of living stone cast upon his family by driving the evil serpent men back into another dimension and vanquishing their leader, the cruel wizard Raphamon. Conan, adventurer. Conan, man of bravery, with his magic sword protecting the mightiest of warriors indeed. Feel the power! Conan.
It's actually really well written for a show from the 80s. It's all about Conan's family and tribe getting frozen to stone, and him going on a quest to try and find a way to cure them. But it's done really well. You know, I won't keep on it too much because most people won't know it. But anyone that's into American animated shows, especially from the 80s, give it a watch. It's worth it.
It's worth it, eh? I mean, for me, it would be Street Sharks is the last one on my list.
There's a new breed in the neighborhood. Some say they're just no good. Half shark, half man, fighting evil, that's the plan. Street Sharks. Street Sharks. Street Sharks. Oh, they're jostle. They bite. They bite. They stand for left and right. They bite. They bite. Shooting at evil with all of their might. Street Sharks. Street Sharks. Street Sharks.
30th anniversary this year, actually, which actually made me think. It made me think of this. Came out in 1994 for the people who can't do math. But yeah, it's coming back, Steve. There's supposed to be a live action movie or some animated movie similar to TMNT, the most recent Ninja Turtles movie, coming out as well. At least rumors have it. And a new toy line. So I'll probably be picking up some new toys in the just a couple throwback.
When
toys.
aren't we picking up new toys?
Yeah,
except for when the wives get involved.
Yes,
although
yes.
Your wife's pretty good at encouraging and helping me out, so I have to give you that. I love that those texts from you or her, like, "Look what I found. You want it?"
Yeah.
I'm like,
yes.
Forgiveness, not permission. Forgiveness, not permission.
That's it. I mean, Street Sharks. It's an interesting concept show. I mean, I went back. Just recently, I watched the first 2 episodes, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna have to give this a little bit more of a rewatch. It's not bad. I mean, the animation again similar to Biker Mice from Mars. It's the typical mid 90s animation style. Stories are okay, but again, it came out more for toys before it was a toy line before it was a TV show. So. That was the big thing, which is crazy to think that they were doing that, and now I just kind of want to keep going back and looking to see if there are other more recent TV shows that do that do the toy versus the TV line TV show first, because I'm sure there must be, and also I have to give props. One of the guys' name is Clint. One of the Street Sharks is Clint. So, there's also that.
I have to admit, being born in the 70s, it seemed like so many people were named Steve. There's a lot of characters named Steve in a lot of things. I'm like, now you don't hear it so much, but I'm like, man. And last thing I'll leave you with, this is something I used to bug my brother with a lot. With He-Man, because it's He-Man and Prince Adam. And my brother's name's Adam, so he used to always be, "It's Steve Man and Princess Autumn," long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
In a galaxy far, far away. Anywho, everybody, we appreciate the time you taken today to listen or watch Steve and I talk about our 80s, 90s TV show, how they hold up, and what we're doing now. If you have any others, I'm sure you do, give us a comment in the video and let us know what we missed. I think I have one idea for Steve that I totally thought he was going to say, Go Joe. But anywho,
you know why I held off on that one? It was huge for me. I actually should have mentioned it, but I don't find the cartoon held up as much as the others.
This is true. This is true.
I try watching it and I'm just like, yeah. There's the odd episode that's pretty good, but sometimes I'm like, oh my god, really? But I could be prejudiced with liking Transformers over it because it's not far off G.I. Joe.
Yeah, this is true. Hey man,
we keep the same sound music and a lot of the same voice actors. So
we keep buying the comic books for both of them. So that's it. Clearly means something to us.
Yeah, there you go.
But as always, Steve.
All right. Keep collecting.
Keep gaming. And
keep
safe. Dink.